So, hey, what's up, everyone? It's First Hand here,
I'm Jeremy.
and we are hacking at the base. And what is hacking at the base? We're essentially just two guys who've been friends for a very, very long time.
Two plain guys.
And we just kind of figured, you know what? We both play video games occasionally, and we enjoy the shit out of them. Let's talk about it, because we think we have a history of setting a bar very, very high.
High bars.
And we
Very high.
see the internet, and right now the bar's kind of like,
It needs higher.
we got to put it up there. So we're just going to throw our hat in the ring here. Once again, we are called Hacking at the Base. We'll get into our video structure and everything in another time, but right now, what we want to talk about today, what we want to live in, breathe in, take a bath in. You can take a bath in the
Bathe.
game, right?
Absolutely.
No. You want some help in there?
Didn't bathe for a while. Actually, walking through town,
Yeah.
guy said to me, basically told me I need to take a bath.
Right, yeah.
He's like, what's that smell, boy?
I walked into a camp one time, and the lady was like, "You should be ashamed of yourself, walk around with shit on you." And she made me take a bath. And I was like, "Thank you." Someone's looking out.
My hygiene was not well in that game. Not well at all.
Nah. I'll tell you what, though. I often would get blood on me from various murders and pillagings.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of taking a shower or anything, go to the river. Run right into the river.
Jump in, quick bathe.
Boom, done. Your
Yeah.
horse likes it too. If it's a little dirty, get your horse in there. How does that horse not break a leg going through those rivers?
How does that horse not break a leg for how many times I rolled down a hill?
How many?
Too many. I don't know, man. I know, seriously, my horse, tough cookie.
What'd you name your horse? The first horse you named?
Carrot.
That's
Original.
with a K or a C.
With a C.
Good. I was gonna say, because you named a carrot like a diamond, and
Nah.
you're playing the pun too much.
Too original with the carrot, huh?
Original with the carrot. Yeah. Yeah.
Cheap horse, 15, what was it? $15?
Yeah.
Great horse, though.
When you go in to buy your first horse, I was broke.
Oh.
I think I had $16, so of course I
Yeah.
got the pony. But I tell you what, that pony was a hell of a horse, and I still have the pony. I still have it, I just don't use it.
Oh.
It's just like chilling at the camp,
Yeah.
because you upgrade your camp carousel,
Mhm.
and then boom, you have fucking horses everywhere. Causes
many
more problems than they fix.
Too
if you ask
many
me.
horses. Too many horses. Detail-oriented. Very.
You got chickens, you got all these critters running around, you got water snakes that scare the shit out of me. I don't like snakes in the water. I can deal with snakes on the mainland, but when you have a snake in the water, you're out of your demographic.
Mhm.
You're on his turf. You're basically fucked.
Fishing. I knew it was a big point for you in this game.
There's something about... Okay, so let me take you to another game real quick. It came out called Far Cry 5.
Okay.
I wasn't a fan of Far Cry 4. Wasn't a fan of Far Cry Primal. Something about the absurdity of Far Cry 5 I loved.
Did you fish?
I envisioned myself going into this game doing all kind of crazy shit. Never once did I think I'd be fishing in that game, and holy shit, I probably fished for 50% of that game.
Well,
Different rods. And fly fish, too. You gotta wind her up.
yeah.
You know, so it's not just like this game where gorgeous cast almost every time. This was a
Nice.
get it out there far. And then you had to kind of play with the fly a little bit,
Okay.
and then you would get a big fish. But I will say the fishing overall is better in this game. Because,
Dead bluegills.
yes.
How many bluegills did we catch growing up at your camps?
At the camp growing up, we slayed blue. Not killed them. We was catch and release. All right. We're going to get into some stuff here because I was about to talk about the first game because obviously Dutch is a huge part of the first game, right? So
There's a first game?
let's talk about it now. So we have unique perspectives here because I played the first Red Dead twice. Once when it came out, and once I'd say probably about a year and a half ago when the rumors of this game really started to come true. It was really cool. I beat the game first, and I kind of, I knew what was going to happen in the terms of what happens in Red Dead, but someone didn't.
That's me.
Yeah.
Never played Red Dead till this new one, and really had a completely different perspective on the game to what That's what my man here had.
It was such a treat for me to get a text message from Jeremy saying, like, dude, like, Jack is such a little bitch. Stuff like this.
Oh.
And I'm just like, I'm sitting there in the back of my head, and he's like, dude, I hope I get to kill Dutch. That's
Dutch.
what he texted me, and
That's-
I just broke inside because I know he wasn't gonna get to kill him.
That's all I wanted.
Yeah, did you ever look and see how Dutch actually dies in the first game?
Spoiler.
Spoiler. Spoiler.
Whenever you're at the cave, right?
Okay.
And
Okay.
and Dutch and Micah, those the guys they turn on you, right? And you're all there, and what was the gang that came in at us?
The O'Driscolls?
Oh, O'Driscoll's, correct? Yes. So they come rolling into camp because you lead them back to there,
Dude, that was a great moment.
and Dutch goes, "They're your problem now," and he runs away, right? As I'm running away on my horse, I'm turning back, and I'm trying to shoot Dutch because I thought that's where this game was taking me. And I'm just unloading on him, and I can't get the kill. And I'm like,
I love it.
this is not what I want.
I love that you had that urge so much that you thought the game, because that is where the game is steering you, right?
The whole
Because
time, it leads you right to it.
It becomes very evident that this
Or
man's
do
a
you
psychopath.
insist on something else? Get in there.
I hated when he said that. I hated it.
I knew it bothered you that bad.
When did I ever insist before? I was going along with all the bullshit, and then I'm like, I insist. We get the women and children out. It's fucking common sense.
Yeah, this guy's. Or do you insist on something else,
Yeah.
Arthur? Yeah, I do. I insist on shooting you.
Yeah, and then
Dutch.
And then what does he do? Eventually, he fucking leaves us when we're about to get shot. in the
Yeah,
face.
you're laying in the factory.
Dude, I saw his silhouette walking out. And like I said, so different perspectives here. I knew I wasn't going to get to kill that son of a bitch, but I wanted to beat him within an inch of his life. But hey, all things aside, for a video game to give you that kind of reaction about a character in a goddamn video game, they did something right.
Yeah, I mean they really pull you right to it and make you feel like you're Arthur.
Right. Like all criticisms about this game aside, the way that they make you feel for these characters, make you relate to these characters is honestly nuts. Like it's something. It's a level of connection with characters I've never had in a video game before, and I love Spider-Man. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just it's phenomenal. What they managed to do is just unbelievable. So hey, let's talk about something else.
Yeah.
What kind of hat did you wear in the game? What color was the hat?
Stalker. The Stalker one. It was brown.
Okay.
Not gonna lie, my hat selection was if I killed a man, I liked his hat, threw it on.
Love it, dude. Especially if I would ever get into a fist fight with a man and our hats fall off, and obviously I beat him to a pulp within like 30 seconds or so, I'm taking that hat. Because your hat can come back, he's never getting his hat back.
Nah, he ain't getting hats.
We're taking that, putting it in the bank.
Yeah, I the hat selection was huge. So now that we're on the hat selection,
Let's talk about morality and ethical decisions, and how the game gives you. It gives you choices on what kind of person you want to be, but the game does steer you into a very finite end place. However, that pays off in the last mission incredibly when you're riding solo, and that song's playing. Cue a song in the editing, Justin. Go ahead and play that song right here because it's fucking beautiful. I actually choked up, dude. I choked up. And I'm curious to know, because, okay, let's get this out of the way. What color hat's you wearing right now? Black. He went a little bit evil. Now, where were you on the meter? Like, did you max it out to evil?
to say many of my cut screens, there was a black wolf.
A wolf.
Black wolf.
And in many of my
just
cut
creeping
scenes,
through the high grass, staring me down. And, you know, as I'm playing this game, I'm like, what the hell is this wolf all about? Like, why does it keep popping up on my screen?
Bro. Same thing for me, but I had a gorgeous, majestic deer. And I'm talking, this is about a 12-point buck.
Yeah.
Spread's probably about 32 inches. It's a big deer.
Wow.
Right? So, and I'm like, cool, I love deer. Let's watch it. But then it wasn't until after I beat the game I realized that those are dependent on your morality meter. So if you're not being such a great guy, you're being a little bit mean, you're going to have the wolf and you're going to be in the black hat. Vice versa, you're a nice guy, you get the deer, cool, right? But it does kind of pay off in the end, and it does matter.
It does change
to a degree.
It does. It changes the ending.
Definitely changes the ending too. And like there is some parts in the middle of the game. I didn't know this when I played, but if you're a good guy, you get a huge discount at the stores. Did you know that?
No, because I usually rob the stores.
And there it is. So it's like, so here's Rockstar making the game, right? And they're like, all right, so if people can just go in here and take whatever the fuck they want, well, that sucks for the good guys. They don't reap any rewards, right? So like, let's give them a discount. That's cool. That's awesome. Did you shoot any shopkeepers?
Yeah. What do you want me to tell you, man? I
wanted you to tell me that.
I took complete different perspective. I mean,
there's nothing wrong with
I
that.
had blood up to my elbows.
But there's nothing wrong with that because literally, you start this game, bro. You're not a good guy. Arthur says that multiple times out loud to people. I remember specifically.
They say that at the end of the game too. In the
neither of us are good men.
But yeah, in like all seriousness though.
Yeah.
I don't. Why would you want to use a cheat code on this game?
That's a good point.
I don't know. I didn't really get that into them. I read about it. Didn't really care that much about it because I was like, it's gonna kill the fun of this. But
yeah,
what? I mean,
that's a phenomenal question. And honestly, the reason I think they put it in there is because I do believe that Rockstar knew that a lot of people were gonna burn through this game. With how much content there was, Rockstar was like, a lot of people are gonna crush this, and they're gonna be like, what do we do until Red Dead Online comes out? And one of those things where, well, let's hide. And I don't know if you know this, the cheat codes are hidden in the game. You actually have to find them in the world.
Okay.
And then once you find them, you can go to your menu and you can access them. So it is another thing like, oh, we're collecting dinosaur bones.
So it's not like R1, R2, L1, L2, left on right up, left on right up.
And I think if they did that, it would have been bad. People wouldn't have liked that, That's such an old school thing to go to a magazine and be like, oh, there's this cool cheat code for unlimited ammo. But back to your question of why would people want it? I would love to have my Deadeye just maxed out all the time and just slay an entire town.
You got me.
Right?
I'd take a full Deadeye.
Right. It'd be great.
Deadeye,
and I'm sure
Absolutely.
I don't know the exhaustive list of cheat codes. Maybe that's like another video we'll do eventually or something, but like
You'll have to dig into it.
Yeah, but there's probably some seriously cool shit you could do. I'm thinking like indestructible horse. Stuff like that. The tank horse.
How terrible was that at the end? How about for all you fools who thought it was so great to go and get the white horse, and then you take it all the way to the end of the game?
And it dies!
How's that white horse now?
I will say this though, I am so happy after all. There's kind of complaints too. Oh, it's a Barbie horse game. You gotta take care of your horse. No shit, you gotta take care of your horse, dude. You're in the fucking West.
Yeah.
That thing eats. Obviously, shits. We talked about that. Like, and I just love that.
Wait, when you play The Sims, did you feed your dog? Feed your cat?
I think you did.
I'm pretty sure.
Fact check.
Do you? Get on there.
You do.
I think you do.
You do.
bath your baby.
100%.
Yeah.
And that I just think that Rockstar did such a good damn job of paying that off in the end mission. When I felt some things in this game, I honestly think the one that got me the most death-wise, this is a weird thing to just jump right into, but you were talking about the death of the horse, right?
That ruined me.
The death that really got me was Lenny! Because it was just, we were just running across the roof. It wasn't a cutscene. It was real time, real action, and two goddamn Pinkertons kicked the door open on a roof and just pop them. And I couldn't do anything about it. And it killed me. But that didn't even get close to what I felt from my horse.
Listen, when I lost...
I can't explain it.
When I lost Carrot, I lost a part of my family.
Rest in peace. That's a beautiful way of putting it.
Let's get to the meat.
Talk to me about...
Well, let's see. We had Wild Boar. We had deer. We had rabbits. We had quail.
Can't argue. Can't argue.
Fish.
What he's saying is
I
accurate.
stole a couple cows. Don't do that though. It caused a huge fight on a farm.
Does it really?
Oh my god! Yeah, you shoot a farmer's cow. There's the little pasture field where all the cows are like hanging out, right?
Yeah.
I rolled up in there and shot the bitch in the head
I
a couple times.
remember we were talking. He like texted me. He said hypothetically, hey.
Remember I sent you a picture from work, and I was
You
like,
did,
with
yeah.
the cows. I was like, I wonder if we can shoot these in the game.
In my head, I said, well, you can shoot anything else. I bet you can. And I
So
guess
I
you
went
can.
home and tried it, and I was like, that's how involved I got. As I was driving around for work, like I would see stuff, and I'd be like, man. Like, give me ideas. Like, when I go home, can I blast the cow?
I love like when you're doing your normal mundane or exciting whatever life you have and you see something you're like, I can't wait to try that later in the game.
Yeah.
I love that feeling. It's just so cool. It's just
Yeah,
so
I mean,
cool.
I'm just driving along for work. I just see a pasture full of cows, and I'm thinking to myself, like, that would be great to feed the camp. Pearson would be off my ass for a while.
Hey, did you go to that when you are in what's that one area in the map? Not Van Horn Trading Post, but the one north of that with the mines, Ansburg.
Ansburg, yes.
Yeah, it's really cool. I actually noticed it, and I was like, wow, it's pretty, but I didn't think too much of it. But it's becoming more of a big deal now. And when you look at the puddles in the water in Anvil, it's actually like all rainbowy, because it's like oil in the water. You know what I mean? And it's really good effect. It looks like spot on.
Is that where there's the scene with the old oil derrick?
Yeah,
the
yeah.
oil companies coming in and everything like that?
Yeah, like if you just go up and walk up around and take your time, look around, like
Yeah.
there's these puddles, like you know how it gets like real serpentine when you're going up around Ansburg, up in the cliffs?
Yep.
There's little, like, I guess just runoffs, natural spring runoffs or whatever, just filled with oil and so like rainbowy. And it just looks perfect. Jeremy, here's what I want you to do.
Okay.
I want you to give me about a 45 to 1 minute rundown of why you loved and or hated the main character, Mr. Arthur Morgan.
So, I loved him. To be completely honest, I really wish that I could have continued playing with him after the game was over. Because again, I didn't play the first one, so all new to me. No, I really liked him because I felt like he was stubborn,
Big time.
stuck in
Big
his
time.
ways,
Big time.
did what he had to get by and survive with the camp, and he listened to Dutch even though Dutch sucks. But he had that little soft spot in him.
And you nailed it. You nailed it. Because I think all too often you get a character like Arthur Morgan, and all people see is, okay, he lived a life of crime, he lived a life of dishonor, and he's a bad person. And it's really hard to deal in absolute like that these days. And I'm really glad that Rockstar made you think about that a little bit. Tell me this, Jer.
Yeah.
Did you read his journal?
I had looked through it every once in a while, looked at some stuff that he would jot down,
Sure.
some pictures.
Is that where you got the idea that he had a soft spot in him, or was that from the gameplay itself?
I would say it was the note
Which note?
to the bitch.
Otherwise known as Mary. But Jeremy, I'm with you, man, because you're right. You're 100% right. Now,
The first time you run back into her when she sends you the note and you go and meet her, right?
what'd you do?
I went and met her, and then I listened to what she had to say.
Please, I need your help, Arthur.
Yeah, guess what she didn't get from me? My help. You broke the man's heart.
Guess what she got from me? Help, because I'm weak. I'm weak. I was like, I thought about it, and when she sent that letter, I honestly, for a split second, I thought about past relationships that I've had, and I thought if a couple of those girls in particular would contact me today and need help, I would have to help. right? And granted, at this point, we have no idea what Mary did to Arthur. We start getting a little bit of exposition while they're in that first meeting.
Yeah.
What is it? Something about, oh, your dad is a dickhead,
Which he is.
right? But I think
Because I did second time
It
around.
is.
Second time around, Mary and I was like, you know what? I'm already buried on the bad guy meter.
Okay,
I'm gonna try and
okay.
do something good here. And I did help her the second time around. But you know what? I should have saved my time, and I could have probably beat the game in 59 and a half hours instead of 60. Because that was a half an hour of my life I'll never get back for a pointless mission.
I tell you what, though, the first time you do meet Mary, did you reject her offer to help?
Yes.
Okay, so he rejected her offer to help.
I'll do
And-
it again, too.
And I respect the hell out of that. I respect the hell out of that. But I honestly sat, when you get the choices,
Yeah.
I sat there for probably a solid minute and a half thinking, here's what went through my head. If this was real life and an ex-girlfriend came back and needed help, I would help them because I'm weak. The second thing I thought was, I wonder game design wise, what do I think will happen if I click yes? What do I think will happen if I click no? And I got a little bit scared because it was kind of early on in the game. So I was like,
Very
you know what?
early, yeah.
You know what? I'm going to help her. And once again, different perspectives. I did play the first Red Dead. He did not. So that could have came into it as well. I kind of had a feeling Arthur wasn't going to make it through this game, man. From the get-go, I was 85% sure he ain't making it.
I was 99% sure I was going to make it.
Exactly.
And I was going to kill Dutch.
And he lived on the edge a little bit while you played, and I was a little bit more like, I need to think about what I'm doing,
Yeah.
But, I mean, I got a cool mission the first time I helped Mary. Basically what she says is, I got a little brother. He's a little bitch. He ran away. I really want him to come home. He's with this weird religious cult people. And I don't remember their name, but I do remember...
she did explain that.
The turtle worshippers.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think she talked about it whenever she was asking you for help, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Once I heard that shit, I'm like, get out of here.
So I did. I went over and I confronted these religious folks, and they were kind of like on a cliff. They weren't doing anything nefarious. They just look weird, And they're doing their thing. And I basically ask if I can talk to the boy. Arthur says boy a lot.
He does say, boy.
Yeah, boy.
Want to go fishing, boy?
Everyone. That was pretty damn good, Jer. That was good.
He talks to Jack.
That was good.
Come on, boy. Let's go fishing.
Basically, I go up to the religious guys. I'm like, I need to talk to this guy. And at first, I'm Arthur. I'm like, don't fuck with me. And then eventually, I'm like, I had a couple choices, and I was like, you know what? These guys aren't going to respond well to violence. That's just not what they do. They're all kind of weird, probably. So I was like, I started being nice, and I was defusing the situation. You got your buttons. I was defusing, and they eventually let me talk to him, right? So I'm talking to the kid, and I'm like, basically like, yeah, motherfucker, you're coming home. You're going to go home to Mary. And he just starts running. So I'm like, okay, great. I'll chase him. I'll lasso this son of a bitch because I love lassoing people.
What a great feature.
I love to just lasso the people.
And hog time, once you get him?
Oh, of course. Yeah, you just get him. You
I
ain't let him
love
go.
that, yeah.
But he goes running, and I'm like, okay. And right away, I realized that they're leading me somewhere because I couldn't lasso him, even though my horse was a badass. I'm a badass, and I couldn't get him. Right? So I was like, okay, they're taking me somewhere. Train tracks. He goes across the train tracks, and I wanted to try to beat the train, but I knew the way the game was presenting it, I wasn't going to be able to beat that train. So I reared my horse. It's horrible. I reared my
Not
horse.
a good horse.
And I stopped, and I'm like, great, he's gone. And I thought this was going to, come back later.
Yeah.
But for some reason, the kid stayed on the other side of the tracks. He's off his horse at this point. And what's he do? He pulls out his gun! And he's talking about shooting himself. And I'm like, what? And this was the first time in the game I learned about the RT, hold the trigger, slow-mo pull.
Slow-mo pull, right?
It took me 4 times. I watched that kid blow his brain out 4 times because I couldn't figure out how to do the draw. But eventually, at the 5th time, I figured it out. I got it. I knew how to shoot. Pew! Shot that gun right out of his hand. Right? And after that, he just collapsed and was like, Arthur, I'm so sorry. But what really got me in the moment is...
Did you have the option to shoot him, though?
Yeah. So
Yeah, continue.
when I would do the draw, I could have put a bullet right in his head if I wanted to. Say that in the microphone.
I would have.
Anyway, I brought him home to Mary, and I mean that's encounter one with Mary, man. Right, and you know, I don't know. I really like, all in all, if we just encapsulate all of Mary, I like her role in this story because it was the part for me that showed. And did you? Before I say that, Jeremy, did you get all the exposition about Arthur's past life?
What do you mean?
Did you know that Arthur had a son?
I don't think it was mentioned.
Must be a white hat thing. Arthur had a kid, dude. And Arthur talks about how he had a chance to settle down and, like, be a dad to this kid, and he didn't. And that kid died, like, at a young age. And, like, there was a point where they said that, and I was like, whoa.
Unless I missed that completely, but I don't recall that at all.
That must be a white hat thing, man, because I was like, wow, okay, that puts a whole new... And he just kind of broke down to one of the characters talking about it. Did you meet a nun?
A nun? No.
Did you meet anyone towards the end of the game who wasn't a nun? Because I'm pretty sure they said, like, the white hats meet the nun, the black hats meet someone else. I forget who the black hat was, but basically I talked to this nun, and the nun,
Spoiler!
the nun is in the first game. And I didn't catch that right away. I caught that after the game. The nun's in the first game, and she kind of basically says, like, it doesn't matter what you've done or what you are. It matters what you do. And Arthur kind of, as right at the end of the game, Arthur kind of took that to heart a little bit, and that was kind of like the white hat push to get him to the end of the game, to save John, to do all this stuff. It was her words.
Stand and shake up. Mr. Crash.